Good day and welcome to Inderes TV. Earnings season is on and Wärtsilä published its third quarter result today. We have company CEO Håkan Agnevall here in an interview. Hi Håkan, and it's nice to meet you once again.
Hello Antti, nice to see you again.
Good result today, like we saw in the stock exchange also. The course is going right way. What were the highlights of the third quarter from CEO's perspective?
No, I think you're right. The Q3 has been a good quarter, step in the right direction. So highlights, I would say 18% organic growth in order intake. That's one highlight.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the 53% increase of our comparable operating margin. So now we moved to 8.6% operating margin, up from 5.7% last year. Of course, we are not at 12%, which is our financial target. But I think step by step, we are moving in the right direction. I think we are creating more and more proof points that, we are confident we will reach the 12%, as we said before, over a few years. But Q3, I think, strong proof points, we are on the right way.
Yeah, the order intake was really good. Regarding to your order book, you have earlier stated that the low margin projects, which background is the inflation, which erupted last year. You have said that they will be out of the books at the end of third quarter. Did that so?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, we stated earlier that this year we still had about 1.2 billion in our order backlog of deliveries that had been heavily affected by the inflation that accelerated beginning of 2022. And now when we go out to Q3, we have delivered those. So they are still impacting Q3, but as we go into Q4, they should be out.
How would you overall describe your order book right now?
I think that we have passed clearly 6 billion in order backlog, and it's up. It continues. I think we have our 10th consecutive quarter where the order backlog is evolving in a positive way, the 12-month rolling backlog. And I think we have a good order backlog going forward.
What kind of orders do you expect to get in the coming future?
Well, if you look at our order intake,
yeah.
As you've seen, we're given a demand for energy that if you look 12 months ahead, it's better than the previous 12 months. And on the marine side, we say it's similar. So if we look on the energy side, because energy first, we should recognize that the order intake in Q3 was down, Q on Q. But we have said that we're still thinking, for instance, in the energy power plant, that the second half year, order intake-wise, will be stronger than the first half year. So we still see a good pipeline for the order intake for the fourth quarter. And also when we go into next year, we also see a good pipeline on the energy side. There are energy auctions coming in South America and Asia. And so I think we feel rather confident on that. On the storage side, energy storage side, we also see continued growth opportunities. The market is growing, we are growing. If we look then on so clearly the batteries there. On the marine side, I think we are on a good level. I think we in Q3 we had a strong order intake, both on the new build side, on the services side, and we see a market where the core segments in the marine side where Wärtsilä is serving. Yeah. I think it's developing positively. So we are talking about cruise, we are talking about LNG carriers, we are talking about offshore and specialized vessels. So when we see we see that the coming 12 months, I think there is definitely say that the demand side is keeping up. Then, of course, we need to be also observing of the the uncertainties that we have, the geopolitical situation still very unstable, unfortunately. Also high interest rates and volatility on the gas prices. But even factor that in, we have a fairly optimistic outlook of the next 12 months.
How do you see the sentiment among your customers? What factors mostly affect their behavior and decision making?
If we only look on the marine side, it's clearly the decarbonization journey. And it's a journey over several years, over decades. But you know, just one data point. If you look at the container vessels that were awarded this year, so I mean year to date, 60% will have a methanol ready installed. So that's just one point. I mean, the decarbonization journey is really taking, becoming very, very serious in the marine side. You had MEPC coming in with new regulation, IMO also. So that is really driving customer behaviors. Then green is not black or white, as we say in Wärtsilä. So there is no single simple solution. That's going to be, you know, fossil fuels. There's going to be LNG. There's going to be methanol, bio, etc., etc. But this is really what is on the top of the mind of our customers, and they take a fleet perspective over 30 years. So that's where our customers are on the marine side. On the energy side, it is the shift to renewables, and of course that is a long-term trend. Of course, now with interest rates coming up a little bit, there we see a little bit more impact. Not the short-term, but the long-term interest rate has certainly an impact on projects. So there is a little bit of sliding in time, but still the decarbonization and introduction of renewables, we see it's still there and it's growing. I know that many of the investors, they have recognized that in offshore wind, especially in, I would say, Northeast US and maybe in the UK, there's been a bit of a turbulence. But if you look at the wind industry, the vast majority, I mean, 85, even 90% of wind power that's being installed is land. And there we still see, for instance, strong growth in the US going forward, and therefore need for the balancing power, so to say. So, and I think when we guide for a better demand situation in energy, it shows that we have optimistic outlook, also driven by some of the power auctions that are coming in South America and other parts of the world.
That's good to hear. Your service business, which accounts more than half of your revenues, it continues to perform well. What drives that growth? And talk a little bit about your strategy there.
Yeah. So basically, you could say it's two things. I mean, first, it's the high utilization, quite frankly, of the equipment, both on the marine and energy side. So that is one pillar. The second pillar is our strategy, moving up the service value ladder.
Yeah.
I mean, this value ladder, you start with the spare parts, then you move into agreements, and there are many, from the simple agreements to the more advanced agreements. You have retrofits, and you have performance-based agreements. And the whole logic of our strategy is to bring customers step by step up this value ladder, because we have seen if you can move from the first step to the fourth step, the final step, you can actually have a scaling of revenues, or a profitable scaling of a factor, I would say 2 to 5.
Yeah.
And that is what we are seeing a little bit playing out now, because we see customers moving, you know, into their first agreements, or if customers have had agreements, they move to more advanced agreements. And I think one very strong data point of the agreements that we have, the renewal rate, when the agreements expire and it's time for the customer to renew, the renewal rate is above 90%, both in energy and marine, which for me is the best proof points that, you know, the customer really feel that this is creating value for them.
Yeah, they're satisfied customers then.
Yes, and it's not only satisfied, but they also see it makes sense from a financial perspective.
That's right. Then we have to talk a little bit about your strategic review of your energy business. What options do you consider, and why you come to public with this issue?
We went out today and said that the Wärtsilä board, we have decided we're going to do a strategic review of the storage business. And with the strategic review, I mean, basically what we want to do, and that's also the basic driver, you know, we reach now a business that turnover is about 1 billion euro, and we turn the business to profit. Now it's actually profitable. I mean, it's been loss-making, now it's profitable. So we said, now it's really time, it's a good time to take a step back and look, how can we at Wärtsilä support the growth, the further growth, because there are ample growth opportunity of this business for the customers best and for the employees, and certainly to create shareholder value. So that's the starting point. That's also the timing. So it's a good timing. 1 billion euro. We brought it to profit. Now, how do we want to grow this in the best way? And when we do this review, we will look at different strategic options and also look at different ownership options. I mean, one option is that we keep the business, operate like we do today, of course, growing it.
Yeah.
But we will also look at, partial divestments or full divestments. So very broad set of alternatives. And we also said that we have not set a specific time frame for this. We want to take the time. We want to do a serious job here and really look at all options and then, set the direction.
Yeah. You have stated that Wärtsilä has shifted from being in the top 3 to the top 5 in the storage business. What has changed?
Well, I think it's a space that is growing quite rapidly. And I think we have focused on profitable growth. And we have also focused on, certain of our core geographies. Because our strategy, and I think we communicated before, our intention is not to be this solution for every customer all over the world. I mean, we are focusing on like US, Australia, UK, a couple of countries where we want to build a good reputation with our customer on execution skills, and that we can also build a reasonable footprint, competence, and grow profitably. Then we have also said that we want to be a front runner in thermal stability. So far, no fire incidents with Wärtsilä storage. I don't know if you know, but there is quite a lot of fires with some of our competitors. So we really want to make sure that, we want to be in the front lead of fire safety. And then it's really about, our product execution skills, delivering what we committed upon, I mean, time-wise, quality-wise, and we provide stability and ease of mind, you could say, for our customers. This is really how we want to position our storage business. So you can say, focus on profitable growth, a strong geographical focus, and also focusing on customer segments that value the values that we can put to the table in terms of stability, predictability, and robustness in the execution and also in the technical solution.
What about the dynamics of competition? There are some new Chinese players.
Yeah, this is a very dynamic space.
Yeah.
And there are clearly new competition stepping in, and some go with a very aggressive price. But we also see that customers are learning, and sometimes they have an experience with a low-cost provider, and some of them, they come back to us because they want ease of mind, robustness in the execution, and also for some customers, our background and competence in power system knowledge and how we use our software platform to integrate batteries to other generating assets, that is also something that sticks out.
Like you said, you are already on profitable numbers in the storage business. Are you focusing on more profitability than growth, and why so?
Well, I think we want profit. At the end of the day, business needs to be profitable.
Yeah, of course.
I think that
it's not good business if it is.
No. So I think we have clearly had a perspective on growing this business, but growing it profitably. And of course, we don't want to cap it so it cannot grow, but we don't want to have a growth without profit. So it's the classical balance.
I looked some investor conversations today, and they were thinking that could Wärtsilä spin off the energy business and list it to the stock market. How would you comment?
Oh, do you mean the overall energy business?
No, the energy storage business.
And storage. Sorry. I mean, we will look at all options. So we are not ruling out any options at this stage.
All right. And final thoughts about your coming Capital Markets Day.
Yes, I hope you will be able to join, and everybody online by that way. No, I think it will be exciting. I think we will present certain things that are new that you will have to count. It's a bit of a cliffhanger, but I think we also want to provide additional proof points that the Wärtsilä way, our strategy is actually working, and I think we are confident that we will get to our financial targets. So I think we will provide some proof points of that at CMD. But you will have to wait for that.
We will see on the CMD.
Yeah.
Thanks for the interview.
Thanks a lot for today.